Welcome to today's deep dive, where we are taking a close look at the Zenty ZT-330. And, if you've ever walked into a huddle room to start a meeting, you probably know the drill.
Oh, yeah. The absolute mess of cables.
Exactly. Just a tangle of HDMI and USB cords everywhere because the audio and video are separate, discrete units. It's incredibly frustrating.
It creates a lot of friction before the meeting even starts. So the ZT-330 is clearly on a mission to solve that clutter with an all-in-one bar form factor.
Right. It combines the camera, the mic, and the loudspeaker.
Yeah, to eliminate that whole spaghetti junction.
Mhm.
But what caught my eye immediately in our source material was actually the sensor spec.
The 4K one.
Right, a 4K UHD CMOS sensor. And it's not just about pretty pictures here. It's a functional necessity for how this thing works.
Because it's an ePTZ, right? Electronic pan-tilt zoom.
Precisely. You need those 8.51 million pixels. If you take a standard 1080p sensor and try to digitally zoom in 5 times...
It's just a pixelated
Yeah,
mess.
totally. Just giant blurry blocks on the screen. But with a 4K baseline, this device utilizes its 5x zoom and maintains a perfectly sharp image when it crops in on someone talking.
Which gives you the flexibility of a mechanical PTZ camera without the physical wear and tear of moving parts.
Or the noise.
Yes, the noise.
Hey.
I have sat in so many meetings where you hear the camera physically whirring and grinding every time someone new speaks.
It's so distracting. But since this handles movement digitally, it is completely silent. And it has a fixed 121-degree wide field of view.
Which is substantial. In a tight room, you can capture the people sitting right next to the display screen.
That wide horizontal view is critical for huddle spaces. But the hardware is really only half the equation here. The intelligent analysis algorithms are doing the heavy lifting.
I noticed that. It's not just a static lens. It actually uses face detection to automatically frame the group.
And it tracks the active speaker.
Right. It essentially creates a dynamic region of interest. It just instantly crops the 4K image to frame whoever is talking.
Which removes the need for someone to sit there with a remote control. The goal is to make the hardware feel invisible so you aren't operating the meeting, you're just having a conversation.
Speaking of conversation, let's pivot to the audio chain. It's packing a beam-forming microphone.
A low distortion transverse beam-forming algorithm, to be exact.
Right, which sounds incredibly technical. How does that actually work for the people in the room?
Well, standard omnidirectional mics pick up absolutely everything. The HVAC system, the coffee machine down the hall.
They'll be typing on their laptop?
Exactly. But transverse beamforming uses a microphone array to detect the time delay of sound waves. It calculates exactly where the voice is coming from up to 6 meters away.
6 meters is a pretty solid range.
It is. And it mathematically steers the pickup pattern straight toward that coordinate.
So it's actively suppressing the background noise and focusing on the speech spectrum. That must improve the signal-to-noise ratio significantly.
It does. And since they integrated a full-frequency hi-fi loudspeaker, the audio loop is totally contained in one device.
So the far-end audio isn't relying on those terrible speakers built into most conference room TVs.
Exactly. It's professional acoustics all in one bar.
Now, looking at connectivity, it uses USB 3.0. I assume that's a hard requirement, not just a suggestion.
It absolutely has to be. You cannot push uncompressed or high bitrate 4K video data through a USB 2.0 pipe without massive compression artifacts.
It needs the bandwidth.
Right. The USB 3.0 interface ensures the bandwidth actually matches what the sensor outputs.
Plus, it supports HDMI 1.4b for flexibility. You can put it on a wall, a desktop, or clip it to the display. But that USB plug-and-play aspect really drives home that streamlined wiring mission we started with.
It reduces setup to a single cable for data and power in many cases. Simplifying the physical installation naturally simplifies the user experience.
And that really seems to be the trajectory of this entire sector, moving from complex, component-heavy rooms to these intelligent, silent 3-in-1 bars.
We're seeing technology that actively tries to erase itself. The auto-framing, the beam-forming, the lack of moving parts.
It's all designed so you completely forget the camera's even there.
Which is the ultimate goal when the tech truly works.
So I want to leave you, the listener, with a final thought to mull over today. As devices like the ZT-330 become more intelligent and effectively invisible, are we moving toward a future where the technology disappears completely and we actually forget we're on a video call at all?
It's a fascinating direction we're heading in.
Definitely something to think about. That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.